Hey guys, I finally made it 7 hours later and so many more hours on top. So there you go. There's my little view there. It is supposed to be a Parliament building view, so it's technically right there. But so oh my gosh. So yeah, like 7 hours in the car because I left at 10 this morning and it is now 7:07 at night. So I left at 10 this morning. Around noon, I stopped, I think, for about 45 minutes to an hour to eat. And then I continued on for like, I think, another hour and a half or so. And then I stopped at another station, got some Starbucks, maybe about half hour, I think. Got some gas and peed. And then like another 2 hours. And then when I get to the hotel, so I'm at the Chateau Laurier. When I get to the hotel, it was an hour to get valet parking. Like, you had to sit with your car on the street in a line to get in. And then, after waiting an hour, the guy tells me there's no more parking left. And he's like, oh, you can go to this parking lot or you can go to that parking lot. Now, I have chronic pain issues. One of the reasons when I pick my hotels, I am very specific that I get a hotel that has parking on site. I mean, if I have to pay for it, I have to pay for it, okay? And it's like $67 a day here to park. But I was like, you're joking. I'm like, is there not any, like, are you sure that I can't wait a little bit? And he's like, no. And then he's telling me, oh, there's a parking spot and everything else. And I'm like, listen, I'm by myself. I said, there's really nowhere, like, I'm like, I don't want to be in an underground parking lot off-site. I'm like, I want valet parking so that I know that I'm safe. And no, they were so sorry and blah, blah, blah. So I go and check in because at least they're holding my vehicle while I check in. And I talk to the guy there and I explain again, like, listen, I am by myself. Oh, well, we're really sorry. And then he starts showing me where all the parking lots are. And they're a good 15-minute walk from the hotel at least. And I was like, so I finally said, I'm like, can I talk to a manager? I said, I am here by myself. I said, I also have chronic pain issues, which I do, was not lying about that. And I mean, I've been in a car for 7 hours. My feet were screaming at me because they're like, I find that if I don't elevate them enough, like they'll like swell up and stuff and get really painful. So eventually a manager comes out and is like, we are so sorry. And he's like, no, we don't want you going by yourself. He's like, we will find a spot for your car. No problem. I'm just like, oh, thank God. So anyway, so I'm finally checked in. I can show you guys. So as I said, there is my lovely view. Hello, Prime Minister Carney. Of course, he's not there. He's in Italy right now. But and then it's got kind of that old school air conditioner, but at least it's not loud and rattly. You get yourself a little chair and then bedside table. They do give you 2 complimentary waters, but I think any more than that, then you have to buy. I brought my own water, thankfully. Shouldn't be. And then, like, your side table, you've got spots to plug things in. There is a USB and that sort of thing. And then you've got your lights that switch on and off. And then you've got your big comfy bed. So, and you got your TV and a desk with a chair. The artwork is really nice in here, by the way. So, and then you got and then there's more outlets here and another USB. So there's probably and then there's one on the side table. So there's 3 USBs and then 6 outlets. So that's pretty good. I always hate that they give you the tiniest little trash bins in the room, especially if you're getting takeout and stuff. So underneath here, you've got there's a tea kettle and there's that Nespresso type machine. You got your ice bucket, some tea, some fancy little wine glasses. Under here is candy and all that stuff. I assume these are on sensors, so we are not touching that. Okay. And then your tea and coffee, and I think this is part of the machine. I don't know what this is. If somebody can tell me what this is, I think it has something to do with that. But, so, and then you've got your other side. What bothers me is there's like, so here's your fridge. There's no prices. Like, they have all this stuff, but it's like, where are the friggin' prices? I don't want to, like, ugh. Even if I wanted to take anything out there. I guess this is just storage, I guess, for whatever, but there's nothing in there. So they had to bring me a luggage rack because there was none. Then you got your closet. Ironing board, spot to hang up stuff you need to. Safe. There are some complimentary slippers, but no complimentary robe. And then it looks like a laundry bag. So, and an iron. So, and then you can control your temperature and such. All right, and then the bathroom, the tiny, tiny little bathroom. So there's the shower. It's a rainfall shower and a separate head, which I like. So, and it is quite nice. It's quite fancy. And then they've got like fancy shower gel, shampoo, conditioner. So the bathroom is really tiny though. Like there's the toilet with your towels and toilet paper and your trash can, and then there's the sink. So there's lots of towels. I will give them that. And this is all fancy, and you even got body lotion. There's body lotion. There's a makeup mirror. Hello. Glasses, all that stuff. The only thing is like if you're sitting on the toilet, you could like lean on the sink. Like it's like right here, right there. So, yeah. So that's a room. Like I said, not very big, but overall nice. So, and then, so they've got this by the table here and stuff. You get your phone and all that. But the only thing I found kind of annoying is they didn't make it clear how to order room service. I had to kind of figure out the hieroglyphics on the phone to figure out how to do that. So there we go. That is my fancy, fancy room. So I am just going to hang out in here tonight. I've had a long day. It's been very annoying. But I don't know if you guys can hear the bagpipes. They do the changing of the guard. I guess at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, I think that is. So, and I think it's the piper that's playing across there right now. So, but anyways, I got here. Yay!